I'm often asked by people, am I ready? Am I ready to do or make the solo move before I hand in my resignation? Well, it's a question that I'm happy to discuss with people, but it's nothing I will ever provide advice on that because every person's situation is different. The first one that obviously comes to us, and this is what I spoke about in one of the other articles I did around risk and runway. But your financial runway is very important. Again, if you're by yourself, you don't have a partner, no children, maybe without a mortgage or everything, well, your financial runway can look different to someone who might have kids, mortgage, be a carer, and a lot of things on their plate. Okay. Once you can get that understanding of what your runway needs to be, you can start determining the buffer, the window between contracts. You can negotiate properly. You can start to question or say no to what I call as bad work or tough work, where you're actually buying risk and buying work for the sake of it, but also to you are not falling into that whole, I've got nothing else I can do. I'm going to take this job out of desperation. Another one we need to start looking at is, of course, demand for your skill. I often say to people, if you were to write down right now on a piece of paper what you will put on the invoice for a customer of what they're buying from you, what would that be? And most of the time I go, oh, gee, I don't know. Time? No. What is the skill? What is the value? What is maybe your differentiator that someone is prepared to pay for? And that can be a confronting question on someone, but it's one that you need to be able to answer. Your emotional readiness. I've seen some people that have been, from a personality point of view, might feel very flighty, up and down with their emotions, etc. Maybe going solo isn't for them. I've seen people that have been very introvert, and I think to myself, gee whiz, very quiet. I'm wondering if they could possess the ability to go out and network, etc. And some of them, when I look back, have really surprised me because that is their personality. They don't need to sell. They just do, and they can demonstrate that as they move forward in their solo career. So that's the other thing. Another thing is I ask people about your commercial awareness. It's not just to say, oh yeah, I know how to do contract management. When it's coming out of your wallet, when you are signing off on risk, when you are looking at the commercial terms of cash flow, milestones, cost plus, am I getting covered for accommodation, travel, all these sorts of things. It's not just commercial awareness. You need to have commercial acumen. And that means you are the entity and you need to look at yourself through a cost, risk and performance lens like an asset to make sure that you aren't signing off something that's going to end up in a lot of stress, a lot of pain, and could send you broke. So the key takeaway is understanding your runway. And again, in the solo moves, you'll see I've got readiness tables. I've got a whole lot of exercises there to really help you self-assess. And depending on what rating you give yourself, there's some ideas in which you can actually apply to either accept that's where you are or, again, do something about it.